Hello and welcome to BeamNG Drive. I'm davidinark, and today High Def and I will be taking a look at different things you can do with mesh roads.
Yes, let's put a wall right down this little route to stop people careering off the small cliff that it is. So if you select the mesh road tool,
Okay.
now the default width and depth, we want to set those to something different now. We want to put the width to probably between 0.2 and 0.8. I think that's about 200 centimeters to 800 centimeters, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
So, and the default depth, you would want about knee height. So I guess that's about 3, I think.
Okay.
Not knee height, I mean waist height. Yeah, I think that's about 3 when I did it last time.
Oh, whoops, I didn't know.
You can see we've got a wall shape.
Oh,
So
yeah.
not at all useful for a road, but it's
that's
useful for making nice smooth walls, because after you've clicked the first node, press delete for now, and put it at the start of the road. As soon as you put in the second node, it then starts to morph and go nicely smoothed around corners, just like the mesh roads do. And that's what makes them so good.
All right, so I want to be zoomed out here, right?
Yeah, a little way.
Or I was say, or do I actually need to be closer since we're...
Have a good view where you can see the definition of the edge of the road, so you're going to be able to tell where you need to be clicking.
And I'll just start here.
Take your time as much as you want. Yeah.
All right.
So that looks good. Perhaps maybe change the default depth to 1 and make the default width. Looking at it to that car, it's actually quite huge. So perhaps 1 on the depth and 0.4 on the width. Just bring it down a bit to make it look a little more.
Well, I was assuming it was going to be kind of like the building thing, where once we had it put in place, we would lower it into the ground. You know,
you can do that with each node, but it will place it at a distance of 1 from the floor, wherever you click. Afterwards, you can then move the nodes as you like. But this is just great for laying something down that looks half natural.
Okay, so is this about where you want this, or am I actually too close to the road?
Just bear in mind, if you click on the slope that's sort of off the edge, it's going to lower the top of the wall down as well, so it'll look a bit unneat. So just try and make sure that you're clicking on the flat surface of the road, just next to where it starts to go down the hill.
Okay, I got you.
That way it'll stay even.
Okay.
And again, you can move it all afterwards and it will stay in line.
Sure.
Unless you tell it not to.
Trying to get a feel for where I am here. No. Okay.
Yeah, never be afraid to move the old camera.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, maybe it would have been better as default depth too, but it doesn't matter.
That's okay.
Bendy?
Yeah, a little bit. I got a little carried away with my camera action there, but you know, it's all right. We're playing around, getting the general idea.
So if you double click there.
Okay, just right here. Okay.
Yeah, and then you could have like a break and then you start another one after, say, 6 meters or something, like they do in real life.
I don't know how far 6 meters is, man.
Halfway more than that. So just after that lumpy bit.
Okay, so like down here?
Yeah, there.
All right. So somewhere in here anyway. Forgive me, folks. My SimCity playing days are long behind me, so
SimCity.
So city planning and road planning is not quite in my wheelhouse these days.
It'd be amazing if there was this much detail in city planning in that sort of game. That'd be like Planet Coaster kind of.
Yeah, exactly. Well, is City Skylines kind of like that? I don't know. I've played City Skylines a little bit, but I wouldn't. I don't know.
It's not like you can't like modify things to this level of detail, but it's definitely a really good title if you liked the SimCity games. I've gotten hooked a few times on it, and it's rather good. Especially the traffic management. That's my favorite aspect.
Oh, yeah.
Building the roads so that the traffic doesn't all build up. Well, that's the most satisfying part of the game, I think, for me. It works.
Yes. Well, like I said, I played with it for a little while, but it just wasn't really my thing.
Sure.
And I'm not. There we go. Oops. That's. Well, I guess I could just keep going here. I don't know. This is not going to look good, but that's okay. I think on the outside, I'm going to keep this going.
Yeah, no break.
I just need a way to. Oops. Okay, I wasn't really paying attention there. The key, of course, is to make sure that you keep this going the width of the road so that your car can actually continue to fit through there.
Yeah. And again, you can move it all afterwards you've placed it.
Well, that's true. And then
fine tuning it's
that's exactly what I was just going to say. You know, the other thing to remember is that once you've got it placed, then you can always go back and fine tune either per node, or you can move the whole thing, or whatever you need to do.
Add nodes, remove nodes as well.
I'm not a fan of this little piece right here. I don't like this. I don't like this goofy little bend. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab. Whoop, I'm in the wrong. No, I'm not. Why is that not? Why is it down? No. No, I want this one. Oh, sorry. Excuse my idiocy. Okay, so if I can... Let's see, I'm trying to remember what... Oh, that's what I didn't like. I didn't like that. So yeah, so I should be able to bring this back over here a little ways. There we go. Not quite right, but that'll work. All right, cool. So we have walls, sort of.
All right, so let's give them texture. So in this case, it's a good example. You can texture them individually, or if you want them all to be the same texture, go into the object editor and select all three of them. You can't select multiple roads in the mesh road editor. You have to come and do it here if you want to do multiple.
Okay.
So now I've got those three selected.
So I have them selected over here.
Yeah, you'll see the top, bottom, and section. I would only worry about the top and the side. You can't see the bottom, but yeah. So I found in road path, I just use the track editor texture, which is just asphalt. Looks good enough. See what I mean? Like by it, yeah. I don't really go mad. I mean, Dr. Doomslab and my friend Matt, they're really good with texturing and stuff, and I really want them to get hold of Tobin and have a look at the textures. I'm not so good. I mean, I understand some of it, but when you get into alpha maps and things like this, I'm just like, what? It's too much.
All right,
even
cool.
Normal maps, I've only just got my head around them.
Sure.
Even not fully either. So, but yeah. So now we've given them all a nice texture, and they kind of resemble walls.
All right. So
you can use them as much or as little as you like as well. Obviously, you can change the width and the height. Make them. You could make them. You could have like a brick texture, so they look like bricks, if you know how to get it lined up properly.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool, man.
Yeah, it's just little touches like that that can really bring a map to life.
Well, and then, just for the sake of argument, since it is BeamNG, we can crash into
work.
it. That's exactly. Whoops. Oh, well.
That one didn't.
Oh, well, now we're stuck. So there we go. Cool. So I did want to, real quickly, let me jump back into the editor. And we kind of looked at this previously with mesh roads, but as you can see in the object editor, I've got the mesh road. In this case, it's this entire first section. So I can use the object editor and I can raise and lower the entire wall. So I can make that a little higher if I need to, or I can lower the whole thing. And you can it'll treat it as one object. So
to be higher.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, that went a bit funny. The connection there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm on Wi-Fi now. So. Right. So I think you could probably scale it as well. So if you bring up the scale tool on this, on the top left, the bottom one, yeah. you should be able to scale the up and down axes to make it taller and shorter without messing anything else up. I think. Oh no, maybe not.
No, I guess not.
It won't. Okay.
Okay.
It's because it's a. I think it's because it's a node. It's something that has nodes in it.
Right.
Move the entirety, but you can't stretch and get it to move them all on the fly. That would probably melt your computer. But yes, that's still good to show that we can move it and everything. That's great. So
cool. Okay.
there was a couple of other things. Well, at least one other thing about mesh road laying that I forgot to say about last time.
Okay.
Kicked myself.
That's all right.
So you can also lay a road like we did, but you can make it so that it indents into the terrain, so it's as if it's been dug out, and it can look really cool. So find a normal area that's not dead flat, but kind of not ideal for a road to be put on, and we'll put a road into it. If I just sort of did this the other day, I thought, oh, that's pretty good. You can actually use minus figures to lay the road into the terrain, and then use the opposite mesh align tool to set all the terrain down into it, as you'll see. So get a nice sort of view from above, not too far, but there we go. So under default width, put 10. So we're on a normal width road.
All right.
And then under default depth, put -2.
Okay.
Yeah, and then start drawing a road that goes down into that valley or something.
Like starting at me and going down away from me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Just build something that's like half interesting, a bit curvy and exciting.
Define exciting.
Bit like you, David. Curvy and exciting.
Oh,
yes, cough.
You're killing me. Yeah, you're killing me. All right, so I don't know what we're doing. So how about that? Is that?
Yeah, that looks cool.
Okay.
So if you move the camera around, you'll see you can't really see the road.
Right. Yeah.
It's set into the floor.
Sure. Okay.
Now, if you go to the terrain editor.
Oops.
Oh yeah, I would have a fiddle with that first. Get that straightened out using the move nodes tool.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that. That's a little weird.
That's because you're at a funny angle, I guess.
There, that's a little better. That's going to be a bizarre twist right there. That's okay. We're okay. All right. Okay, so you want me to do what now? I'm sorry.
Well, over there it's gone. Perhaps delete the last node, that really long stretched out piece.
Oh, okay.
You always want to try and keep your nodes the same distance apart and a decent enough distance apart. Unlike that, basically.
Okay.
That will just ensure that you get the best the pixels will be smoother and give you a better result. Unless you really wanted it to be awkward in places, then obviously do what you like. But for a smoothish road, see on the far left, you've got those three that are a bit crooked from each other. I mean, that would work, but it wouldn't be so smooth. Yeah.
So
see, it's got a bit of weird things going on there.
Yeah. Okay, so my best bet would probably just to delete.
Just stretch them out a bit, or delete one. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'll just delete the middle one. There we go.
Yeah, that'll work. Okay, so if we go to the terrain editor and select the second align with mesh tool, which is the push down to mesh, which is in the bottom three.
Sorry, down here. Push down to mesh.
Yeah.
All right. So push
down. As opposed to lift into mesh like we used last time.
Okay.
Get yourself a big brush and then just go over the whole lot with 100% pressure.
Okay, so we'll just do that because it doesn't matter the size.
No.
And the pressure is 100. Right. And now, does height matter here?
No.
Okay.
That only accounts for these set heights. So.
Yeah. Okay. And so then I just.
Yeah. Then go over the whole road.
That's weird.
Like a snowplow.
Yeah. Yes. That's exactly. That is so cool. Oh man.
A blowtorch on snow.
Yeah.
And now you can delete the mesh road.
All right. So then we can go to. I guess I could do that multiple ways. I'll jump into the editor, object editor, grab that mesh road and delete. Bing. And now we have
go for a drive.
A sunken valley area here. Let's see. I don't know what I'm. Let's see. I think I can just pop my car in, I believe. Yep, that works. I'm backwards, but that's okay. Oh, that is so cool, man. Yeah, man, it makes a nice little smooth, like born out area or bored out area or whatever you call it. Oh, that's cool.
And you can move the mesh roads nodes until you get it just how you want it. And yeah, it's because you moved the node back. But I forgot that the nodes don't stay aligned to the terrain. You have to move them up as well. So it can be a little fiddly, but that's why you've got such a steep bit there, because you brought it closer, but you didn't bring it up as well, so it made it very steep.
Hey, that's just part of the road in BeamNG, man. You know.
Yeah.
Oh, that's very, very cool, man.
And then you can smooth away the edges so they don't look so polygonated, and spend hours making it look realistic. And
right, exactly.
Put rocks and trees and bushes in there, and it could look like a really nice little lane going past a lake or something, and it's really nice. I think this program is pretty good for people that like to do modeling, like sort of model railways or just like small dioramas or whatever, and they can't or haven't got the space or money to buy all the stuff, and they can just do it on here virtually. Not quite the same, but it's still, you can be just as creative.
Oh, sure. Well, like you said, you know, if you're the type of person who loves modeling and building scenes by using objects, I mean, you could never actually play BeamNG and have a field day in here.
Absolutely. That's one of the reasons I love it so much.
It is so cool. I think that's a lot of what, kind of like what Bob Blunderton spends his time doing. I mean, really, you know, playing around with laying things out, and then, you know, yeah, of course, you know, drive around on it and stuff. But I think he really enjoys that kind of laying it out aspect.
Yeah, I see the appeal, that's for sure.
Whoops, that's going to be a little big. So I would do like, let's see, I can remember, what did we do? We did 10, right? So, just for the sake of argument. There we go. I'm just painting it dirt just because, but I mean, I could paint it whatever I wanted to. Or you could, those of you watching, can paint it whatever you want.
Yeah, you could put mud or snow or ice.
Yeah, exactly, which I guess really, we could, oh yeah, mud, that would be cool. This would be a neat mud.
Might have to assign the texture. Oh no, it's working. Now, because that terrain paint is called mud, it will behave like mud to the car. Once you've reloaded the level, it will have mud depthness, like depth as well, so your tires will sink in.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, okay.
And that means that you can, when you wheel spin, it flings mud up everywhere. Obviously, particles. Yeah, otherwise, if you don't have any depth on there, it doesn't use the particles. But by default now, if you have no depth image, it will give a default amount of depth to all the terrains that are relevant to have one.
That is, again, man, just, I mean, so many cool things you can do. And then, like you said, you can, whoops, that's a little too smooth. I forgot my pressure was 100. So you can kind of, like you said, work. You can work on this to your heart's content and kind of smooth things out.
Mm-hmm.
Spend hours and days, weeks, all the time in your life smoothing things out, taking care of things and making things look just the way you want them to. That is so cool. Oops. Actually, it looks like it's already acting like mud. Or I guess maybe there's no depth. Well, yeah, no, there's depth. Wow. I didn't even have to reload the level. It just automatically said, hey, it's mud.
Yeah, this program's got a lot more intuitive over the years, that's for sure.
Oh, that's cool, man.
Oh, nice.
Awesome stuff. All right, cool.